Welcome back to the Lemon Factor. I'm Chad and Happy New Year, everybody. I hope all of you had a great holiday. I am very excited that this is our first video because I have been waiting to do this video. This is the video in which I am going to reveal to you which turbo upgrade we're going to go with for the 10th generation Honda Accord. I know I've taken some time in putting together this video because I've put a lot of thought into exactly what turbo I wanted, what turbo I wanted to go with, what turbo I thought would be right for our project car. And I'm ready to reveal what that turbo is. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. Please consider turning on notifications. If you like this video, if you like the series, if you like the information you receive in watching the videos on the Lemon Factor, please give it a thumbs up. A while back, I published a video which I highlighted the top 10 turbo upgrades for this platform. These are the most popular. These are the easiest drop-in, for the most part, drop-in turbos. Now, first of all, I know there's a lot of you out there that just say, hey, go full bore, go for the most horsepower, go for the biggest turbo. Talking about the PRL P600, the new PRL P700, the RV6, and even some of the hybrid turbos, they will produce some sizable horsepower gains. I didn't go with those.
Why not?
For two reasons. I didn't go with the bigger turbos because, one, on this channel, it's about testing out the various modifications. It's not just jumping in and doing the build and seeing what happens. I want to test it out so I can give information to you, so I can provide you with valuable information. And if I went right to one of the bigger ones, it wouldn't give me any place to go from there. So I pulled it back a little bit and I chose a turbo that later on down the line, chances are I probably will, I can upgrade from there. I can go to a bigger turbo from there. So that's one reason why. The other reason is, as you probably know, if you've been watching this channel, you know I really like the torque. The torque of the Honda Accord's small turbo down low. I love that responsiveness. And no matter what turbo we pick, we're gonna lose a little bit of that. Now on the opposite end, some of the less aggressive upgrades, so that would be your FK8 OEM turbo, and now you have your FL5 OEM turbo. So that is the turbo that comes on the new 11th generation Honda Civic Type R, and I seriously did consider that turbo. But in my mind, I was thinking, you know, that won't impact my spool up. That won't impact the low-end torque as much as some of the bigger ones, but it also won't give me a sizable gain in horsepower. And for me to go through all that effort, I really wanted something bigger. I wanted more power than I believe those two could produce. So now we're talking about what's left. So we have a whole bunch of hybrid turbos. Hybrid meaning they take the FK8 turbo and they redesign the internals, the compressor wheel, the turbine wheel to their own spec, and they produce a turbo that has a bigger compressor, a bigger turbine, and with the bigger compressor should produce more horsepower than the FK8 turbo otherwise can. Now looking at them, I was looking at both the compressor wheel and the turbine wheel. I wanted something that wasn't too large that it would affect, again, the spool up, but something that also didn't die off on the compressor side, on the top end. I wanted something that would just keep going, you know, right up to the red line. And the next thing I was looking at was the price, because some of these turbos, while the specs look good, they're pricey. Some of these require a core charge, and coming from an Accord, I don't have that FK8 turbo, so I would have to get the FK8 turbo and provide it to them, or pay the higher price for them to massage an FK8 turbo that I buy from them. And it just makes it a little pricey. So I narrowed it down from there. I decided, you know what? I think the MHI Stage 2 turbo looks just right. It's bigger than the FK8, but it's not as big as the PRL. It's not as big as the Borg-Warner EFR, which is really interesting to me. I could see myself someday jumping up to that turbo. I think it's a nice sweet spot. But so many of you have already done that. So many Honda Accord owners have already tried the MHI Stage 2. So why do it? You know, again, I want to provide information for all of you. I want to give you an alternative. The turbo that kept standing out to me was the 27.1 KURO.
Years of research and development, months of field testing, and hours upon hours of learning what the community wants has all led to this. A true drop-in turbocharger upgrade for the 10th generation Honda Civic Type R. KURO, K-U-R-O, the FK8 turbocharger from 271 Honda Performance.
That turbo, the specs look good. The price point looks really good. I believe it's similar but different than the MHI, and it's different enough that I'd really like to see how it compares to the MHI turbo. Now, I didn't just decide to go with this turbo because of the specs. A couple other reasons why I decided to go with it is I reached out to several of these manufacturers or sellers of these turbos, all of these, and some never responded after multiple attempts of me reaching out asking questions. 27.1 was not like that at all. They responded within 24 hours, repeatedly with several questions I had, so they're very responsive. 27.1 is also a Honda company. They service the Honda community. These guys and girls are Honda people, and I appreciate that. Honda DNA in the company, been around for a while, nice specs on the turbo, very responsive customer service, nice people. I've spoken to them on the phone. And then get this, they have instructions, install instructions in color that you can print out, and an app that you can use to do the install, which is fantastic. Granted, the install instructions are for the Honda Civic Type R, the FK8, but you know what? It's better than all of the others, none of which have instructions for you to do the install for. I haven't seen anyone else in the 10th generation Honda Accord community using this turbo. So that excites me to find out if this is a viable alternative to the ever popular FK8 and the MHI Stage 2. I will do the install. I'll go through a detailed install. I'll let you know the parts that are needed to do this install. And then of course we need to tune the Honda Accord with this turbo. Once we get that street tuned, we will take it to the dyno. We'll see how much horsepower, how much torque it really produces, see how it impacts the power and the torque curve, see how it drives on the street. I am super excited. Can't wait to get this going. I am counting down the days for the turbo to get here and for us to get it installed. So with that said, I think we're done for today. I want to thank you very much for joining, and until next time.